Hi, Democrats. Today is Tuesday, October 25th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Happy Tuesday. Or should I say happy 2 weeks from the election? Happy 14 days from the election. We have 14 days, 2 weeks, exactly 2 weeks, or 8 days if you plan to vote early in person. Early in person starts next Wednesday. We have 14 days until the election. So if you're not out there helping to save our democracy, what the heck are you doing? That's what we need to be focused on right now, is doing everything that we can to make sure that everyone shows up. And so to that end, I decided that today I'm going to spend a little bit of time educating you guys on some nuance. It's one of those things that folks always say that they know. Folks always kind of talk about kind of as a throwaway, but I'm going to mention it anyway. Follow the money in politics. Follow the money in politics. So I was at the debate between Superintendent of Public Instruction Joy Hoffmeister and the current governor, who y'all know who he is. I don't have to say his name. And he kept talking. He kept talking several times, wedging into the conversation where it didn't fit, asking, where is Joy getting all of her money? All of her money. She hasn't come anywhere near spending or raising the amount of money that our current governor is spending, has raised and is spending. And then the day after the debate, the RGA, which is the Republican Governors Association, came in. They said, oh my goodness, he has real competition. We need to help him. And so they came in and they spent $433,000 on one media buy. They promised to spend a total of $1 million in Oklahoma. The Republican Governors Association is so afraid of Joy that they've promised to spend $1 million in Oklahoma. They're trying to buy or keep the governor that they already have. They're trying to buy the election. $1 million spent by Republicans, out-of-state Republicans, on a race here in Oklahoma. That's a big statement, folks. If he's going to be beholden to folks from outside of our state, we just need to know it. And if the Republican Governors Association is spending $1 million in our state, I'm going to say that he's going to pick up the phone when they call. Speaking of, let's talk about Josh Burkeen. Josh Burkeen is running for Congress in Congressional District 2, which is the eastern border of our state. One PAC, which represents one man, has spent before the primary, spent $3.4 million on behalf of Josh Burkeen. $3.4 million. Oh my goodness. If you think that they're good, and they are a voucher PAC. That's what they are. They're all about vouchers. They want vouchers. Why does someone from out of state want to spend that much money in Oklahoma? I guess it's pretty cheap to buy a congressman here. I'm not real sure what that's about. But how much you want to bet that when that PAC calls him and says, you know, what you're going to do to make sure that vouchers get into Oklahoma, you think he's going to be listening? They spent $3.4 million. I think he's going to be listening. Then we have Kim David. She's running for Corporation Commission. Our candidate, Warigia Bowman, is the best qualified person in that race. She's a law professor that teaches energy and water regulation. The Corporation Commission regulates water and gas and energy. She is the best qualified. But when the energy industry decides who they're going to spend money on, they're going to spend money on folks who are going to vote the way they want. They're going to spend money on folks who are going to do what it is that they want. And what do they want? Well, recently they wanted to raise our rates on our gas bill and our electric bill, and they got it. And so now they're trying to put money into the race to get someone who will let them continue to raise our gas prices and raise our electric prices. In 60 days' time, between June 14th well, not 60 days, a little bit over 60 days, June 14th to August 19th, Kim David received over $50,000 from either executives of energy companies or energy PACs. They're putting their money on Kim David. They're gambling that Kim David is the one who's going to give them what they want versus us. I went and looked at, and you can look this up because I don't like to just state stuff that you can't look up. You can look this up on the ethics reports. They are public records. I looked at Kim David's ethics reports. Some of the folks there's Marathon Oil PAC. There's a PSO executive. There's Continental Resources. There's the Coke PAC, who gave her $5,000 on August 17th. As in Koch brothers, the Coke PAC gave her $5,000 on August 17th. You can look this up. Anything that I say is always verifiable. It's always verifiable. You can go look it up because I don't ever want to tell you lies or have you out there educating people on the wrong thing. They're betting that she's going to do their bidding, that they have a better shot of getting their way if Kim David gets elected. Meanwhile, I look at Warrigia Bowman's reports, and her donations are all from individuals, $25 at a time, $100 at a time, $1,000 here and there from individuals, not energy PACs, and not people who are going to try to control our rates through the commissioner that they bought. Then there's Ryan Walters. I wanted to finish with Ryan Walters today because this will be the nicest thing said about him today because he's going into a debate where he's going to lose his shirt. Ryan Walters, Janet Barisi, and Betsy DeVos, and Betsy's husband, Richard DeVos, all maxed out to him because they believe that he believes like them, and they are all bad for education. They are all bad for rural schools. You got to follow the money. I donated this cycle. Didn't donate to as many people as I'd like. I don't make that much money. But I donated to people that I believe in. I donated to people who I thought once these people are elected, they will represent all of Oklahoma. I was absolutely putting my money out there to get the outcome that I want. The outcome that I want is to have someone in office who represents all of Oklahoma. And you better believe these people that I've recited, they all have desired outcomes as well. The Republican Governors Association, it's obvious what they want. They want to keep that house for Republicans. The Voucher Association, they gave money to Josh Brakeen, not Joshua King, Josh Brakeen. Vouchers. It's a voucher PAC. They spent over $3 million. They didn't give it to him. They spent over $3 million on that race. A voucher PAC. They're not even hiding what they're about. And then Kim David, energy folks are betting that they'll get their way if she gets in. And then we have Ryan Walters, who some of the folks who are the most dangerous to education have maxed out to. It tells you a lot. And I say follow the money because it's important. We cannot let the billionaires and bullies buy our elections. What we have to do is we have to get out there and outwork them. We have 14 days. You guys have heard me say it a lot. I'm going to turn it over and let someone else say it to you.
This is the home stretch, and things are very close. Looking at the recent polling, it's just remarkably consistent. New CNN poll today with a margin of error of 4.5 points. That poll shows the Wisconsin governor's race inside the margin of error. That poll shows the Wisconsin Senate race inside the margin of error. Latest YouGov CBS News poll with a margin of error of, again, 4.5 points. That shows the Nevada Senate race to be inside the margin of error. The latest Suffolk University USA Today poll, margin of error 4.4 points. It shows the Nevada Senate race inside the margin of error. Trafalgar Group poll, margin of error of 2.9 points. It shows the Pennsylvania Senate race inside the margin of error. Siena College Spectrum News on the Ohio Senate race, not just inside the margin of error, but literally tied. Landmark Communications poll on the Georgia Senate race, also not just inside the margin of error, but look, tied 46.1% to 46%. We are 2 weeks out from the election. If you are counting on the polls to tell you what's going to happen or to tell you what you should be doing now, well, here's what the polls are telling you. Whoever it is that you want to win, they need your help. And if you really want them to win, if it matters to you, you need to volunteer for them now. I mean, the polls are tighter than your already tight jeans, except when they're even tighter right after Thanksgiving dinner. Honestly, if you care about the outcome in this election, it's now or never. Pick a race and volunteer. This is the last 2 weeks. This is the time to do it.
I don't know if Rachel was channeling me or what's going on, but I cannot agree with her more. Now is the time. If you care about a better outcome for Oklahoma, if there's a candidate that you've gone out and you've heard speak, if there's a candidate that you really know that it will make a difference if they get elected, now is the time to get out there and help them with your time, your talent, your treasure. Get out there, help them knock doors, drive them around, write postcards, make phone calls, send texts, go put out their signs. Help them now. Now is the time. It's up to us. There's not some they out there who's going to fix it. It is up to us to get out there, pick a couple of candidates, help them. Pick one candidate, help them. The polls are close. It looks like Democrats have a shot to make a difference in this election cycle, but it only helps if we get out there and get them elected. We get out there, we educate ourselves, we educate the folks that we come in contact with, we help them make a plan, and then we actually show up to vote. That's what it's going to take. So it's a little chilly for me, but it's not miserable. This is good weather to door knock. This is good weather to put out signs. This is good weather to wave signs. And if you're not an outside person, write some postcards, make some phone calls, send some texts. They need your help. And if they don't have those programs going on because everybody's at the last minute spending their last bit of money, pick up your phone. Call 5 people you know. Call them. Don't send them a text unless they're young people under 40 who only respond to texts. Text them. Make sure that they know that early voting starts next Wednesday, so they can vote in person starting next Wednesday. But if they like the tradition of voting on the day of election, we are 14 days out. They need to make a plan right now. They need to ask for time off. They need to do that right now as part of their plan. We are the day that we're waiting for. We are the ones that are going to make the difference in moving Oklahoma forward because our governor has said that the top 10 was purely aspirational. I'm going to let you see him say it so it's not just rumors.
As a leader and governor, and whether you're CEO, you have to set a vision for all of your employees and for all the states. So being top 10 is an aspirational goal. It's something that we're never going to hit.
He's given up on us. So it's time that we let him go back and be a businessman because he's given up on us. And it's time that we move someone else in who wants to move Oklahoma into the top 10, or at least out of the bottom 10. At least out of the bottom 10. All righty. Thanks for joining me. I will see you tomorrow at 4:15. You guys have a great one.